Hello, Facebook land. Assuming this is working properly, I'm still kind of a rookie to these Facebook Live videos, as many of you probably are also, but getting more and more accustomed to this environment. And how awesome is it that it's just so easy to set up and do something on the spot. So I wanted to get started this morning a little bit earlier. I'm a few minutes behind some technical difficulties. The joy of working from home when you got two small dogs and a really small baby. So it's always crazy chaos in this household. But I think that's the greatest thing and why many of you are tuning in, because as entrepreneurs trying to grow your business, I think many of you are all searching for that flexibility that lifestyle affords when you can work entirely from home and spend all day with your family. So I feel so fortunate to have achieved that in my business, and now I want to pass on that goodwill and teach many of you the strategies that I've used to separate myself from my businesses and spend no time inside of them. And ultimately keep growing as an entrepreneur and keep the businesses growing. So recently, with the culmination of Fitness Business Summit, Bedros and I, we always attract a number of new people to the 7-Figure Mastermind. Been super busy getting everyone going within the coaching program, which is always super exciting. So this video is for you guys, because I'm getting a lot of feedback from people a little bit confused about this term monster follow-up. It's kind of become a term in our community of something that we do, but everybody seems to think it's this obscure thing that they don't know how to do. So there's lots of variations. I think everybody does it differently because it's not so much a process as it is a behavior or a value system that we're going to teach you to incorporate in your business. And in a nutshell, monster follow-up is with our new prospects using urgency and recency to make sure that we are immediately in touch with them. Remember, as soon as somebody submits and gives you their name, their email, their phone number, any piece of information, the clock starts ticking. Whatever it was that motivated them to press that button and actually give you their information, that pain, that emotional feeling, that excitement that they have to find out more about your service, that clock is ticking, and every second, every minute that goes by before you talk to them, they grow colder and less interested. So in a nutshell, that's the purpose here, is that we need to get in touch with people as soon as possible. So what are some of the mechanisms as how we do that in our business? That's what I wanted to talk to you about today. So number one, monster follow-up in our business is what we consider the 5x2 rule. That means that we're going to try to contact you 5 times, typically in the first 72 hours, in an effort to get you set up, started, and into our business. So the way we do that typically is I tell people always start with text message. In today's world, most of us don't enjoy answering the phone for numbers that we don't know. Most of us don't enjoy checking our voicemail. It almost seems like a chore to check and listen to your voicemail and try to remember the number. Then you got to call them back. Society just doesn't do that anymore. So send them a text message. Always send them a text message first, very quickly, engage them right away, because we all prefer to communicate in that fashion. So we'll send you a text message. If you don't answer the text message, we'll send you another one. If you don't answer the text message, we're going to call you, we're going to leave a standardized voicemail, and we're going to send a canned response email, and then we're going to start that process over again. So in actuality, we're contacting you as more than 5 times potentially, but at least 5 times in the first 72 hours. Now, why is it the 5x2 rule? Well, for us, at the end of every month, we generate so many leads that unfortunately there's a number of leads that even contacting them so many times, we just haven't been able to reach them. So the following month, okay, we're about to shift over from April to May. As the new leads come in May, we'll service them first, contacting them up to 5 times or more in the first 72 hours. The leads in April that we never were able to reach, we'll actually start the process over again. Whenever we're caught up on current leads in May, we go back to April's sales report and look at the people that we couldn't reach. Okay, and we'll start contacting those people again at least 5 times in a 72-hour period. See if we can reignite them. Hey, Mrs. Jones, what happened? You requested a 3 free last month. You requested a 1-week trial, but we never heard from you. We gave that spot to somebody else, but guess what? We have a few more. How can I get you started? Are you still thinking about pursuing a fitness goal? Are you still trying to lose some weight? Are you still frustrated that you haven't achieved your fitness goal? We want to help you. And let's be honest, many people, I hear from coaching clients all the time, I'm afraid to contact people that much. I'm afraid to keep contacting them. What if I frustrate them? What if I upset them? When in your life have you been frustrated or upset with a company that actually genuinely showed that they cared and continually gave you too much good service? And if you have been, and if you did have to tell a company, hey, wait a minute, your service is too good and you're contacting me too much, isn't that how you want your business to be remembered? So you can't contact these people enough. You got to find efficient ways to engage them quickly and urgently and often. Now, with that, it's nice to automate things, you know, autoresponders, using campaigns and things like that. It's nice to automate all of this stuff. But also remember, we're in a world that thrives on relationships more than ever because relationships are deteriorating. So as nice as it is to automate a lot of this stuff, I also encourage you, especially with text messaging, make it real. It's totally fine to copy and paste a message to a group of contacts, but make it an organic message, and make sure your follow-up to them is then organic as they start to reply, rather than an automated thing where you disconnect and lose people. When you're sending out responses to people, somebody requests a free trial with your facility, make sure that your text messages always end with questions. Too often I hear coaching clients send out text messages like, Mrs. Jones, thanks for asking for 3 free sessions. When can we get you started? Okay, that isn't an appropriate use of a question. Mrs. Jones, thanks for applying for that 3 free sessions. I can fit you in from 4 to 7 p.m. today or at 5 p.m. tomorrow. Reply and tell me which one's good for you. The difference is that people are busy, and that text message is an interruption. You're not somebody that they were expecting to contact them. So that interruption may get set aside if the question is too general. You know what? I'll follow up with this later. It's not important right now. And then it's forgotten about. They never get back to you. And this has become the problem with email and why we have to send so many emails. We get so much email in a day that people stop listening to the ones that you send initially because it's like, I'll get back to it. And then they never do. It's forgotten. So we got to keep hitting them again. But text messages, you have to have those questions that make them feel or think as though you're expecting a reply right now. That, oh my gosh, I can't make either of those times. I better reply and tell them. We have to kind of appeal to our good-natured senses of, I don't want you to waste time, or I don't want you to feel like I mistreated you or something because I didn't get back to you about, I couldn't make this appointment. So you have to use those assumptive type questions. Dig, probe, be specific, and use assumptive type questions. Don't rely on just text messages, and most importantly, don't rely on just email. I can't believe how often that I have to talk to coaching clients, even in my own team. I love my staff, I love my team to pieces, but it's a common and reoccurring thing that I have to remind them, don't become so dependent on email. And frick, I'm even guilty of this. Email is so convenient, and I love to communicate by email because I typically can't lose things. Once it's in my inbox, I might get behind, but I will go through line by line, and it's harder for me to lose things. But it's not as good of an engagement tool, and just for the reason that we already mentioned. People get so many emails, they pass them over, some go to spam, they miss them, they forget about it, they delete it. You have to send a lot of email to get through to people. Versus picking up the phone once in a while, if we make a few calls, even though people don't like to answer calls from numbers they don't know, if we keep calling, they'll answer, okay? And it's just a really, really important step in medium you have to make sure is included in your monster follow-up process. When you make a phone call, a lot of times people won't answer, so you might opt to leave in fact, you should leave a voicemail. But the voicemail shouldn't be 5 minutes long. It shouldn't go through every specific. What you want to do is use the voicemail to make sure that they check their email. Hey, Mrs. Jones, it's Cable calling from Fit Body Bootcamp. You applied for 3 free sessions. I just want to let you know I sent you a follow-up email that explains everything we need to get you started, including a link where you can book your first session. Thanks, Mrs. Jones. Call us back. Text us at this number. Again, that number is, I'm Cable, Fit Body Bootcamp. Have an awesome day. Okay, real quick. In fact, that's even wordy. Shorten it. Cut it down by half. No more than like 5-8 seconds in your voicemail, but you get the drift. The point of the voicemail is to tell them, check your email. I've sent you an email with all the details and specifics. You know, always try to, in your contacts with people, I constantly tell coaching clients these days that you want to extend the relationship. In these days as consumers, I find that none of us really want to talk to human beings. Right? If I can get the steps that I need, I'm excited about something to follow through and complete the next step. If you can just give it to me, I'll complete the steps. And if you keep following up and hassle me, I'll eventually complete the steps. So I like to give people the next action also. In addition to asking them questions about setting a specific appointment time, I actually like to include a link that says, you know, reply or just click here and book your session now. Right? And same thing in the voicemail that leads to the email, and the email is going to be like, step 1, step 2, step 3, do this, do this, do this, book your next session, bam. Now my follow-up method is coming to confirm you to show up for that appointment. So always give them the next action. Decide where they want to stop the relationship. Don't annoy them by making them feel like they have to complete all 10 steps, but if they do complete step 1, make sure there is a step 2. And if there's a step 2, make sure there's a step 3. Let them decide where it is that they're going to stop. Be specific, we talked about that. So in terms of prospects, it's so important in that first few hours. If you can respond to somebody in 30 minutes or less, much better chance of actually getting them to try your facility. I know our Facebook pages with messages right now for each of my locations, we had an average response time of 3 to 4 minutes. You know, we take these inquiries very seriously. You got to get on top of them very quick. But let's shift over to the other side of our business. Monster Follow-Up also applies to accountability with your current clients. Okay, it's so easy in a membership service type business, particularly group training, where people start to fall through the cracks. So have a way to engage them that's more than just your regular emails. Use a texting platform where you can import context, set up some scheduled messages so periodically through the month you can ask them, hey, how are you doing? Right? Stimulate conversation, stimulate real interactions with your members. They'll stay longer, they'll keep their memberships active longer, and most importantly, they'll get better results and enjoy your service more and probably tell others. So finally is reactivation. You know, as the older your business gets, some people are going to go. But in our industry, in the industry and business of fitness, more often than not, these people, they take a break. Right? They no longer see as much value in their service. Maybe they've achieved their goals. They're excited to, you know, experience their new lifestyle with their new body, the way they look and feel. They try new things. And typically their habits start to slide. It's just normal human behavior, typically same for you and I. So every few months you got to reach out to them. Okay? So we try to make a point now every 90 days after people are gone. Hey, how's it going? Just checking to see how you're doing. Fitness, health, everything's still on track. We care. We'd love to see you back. Can I get you back next week for a free camp? So engage your people that have come and gone, because more often than not, they're sitting there going, man, I'd sure like to go back. I'm kind of embarrassed. You know, I feel like I let them down. They helped me achieve those results, and ultimately those results withered. You know, so they feel embarrassed, and that fear keeps them contacting you. But man, so many times you guys, my coaching clients, have responded to one of the emails I've sent, responded to a video I've done, even something like this, and said, Cable, how do you always know what I need to hear? Well, I'll let you in on a little secret. I don't, okay? But I just know that we often are all struggle from the same things. So typically just putting enough content out there, putting enough feelers in the water, contacting people on a regular basis, it's like suddenly you become that mystic guru that knows what people need to hear and when they need to hear it, because you're just in front of them all the time. Guys, that's the secret. I hope this clarifies some things with Monster Follow-Up. For my coaching clients, I have some cool stuff coming for you. I've got a new version of the sales report that actually includes Monster Follow-Up. I'm going to share that with all my coaching clients here soon, teach you guys how to use it. And I've been working on scripts for text messages, emails, phone to give to your staff to deploy to automate all of this stuff. So I'm going to hand you guys the whole keys to the kingdom. So hopefully that was helpful. I appreciate all of you guys in Facebook land. It's Friday. Thank goodness it's Friday. For most of you, I hope that means you're wrapping up to have a fun weekend with your family. Take time for yourself and continue to help more people. I super appreciate you. I'm out of here for now.